everybody. Welcome back to Inside the Musical Mind. I am happy today to welcome a member of the band All Sinners. We have with us today drummer Roger Chouinard. How are you, Roger?
I'm good. I'm good. We just came off a real busy weekend with the Dangerous Toys guys. It was our
Yeah,
record release weekend, and this is the third time we brought these guys up to the Northeast. And I'll tell you, you don't get better dudes than those guys.
really.
They're just so down to earth, and they really, to me, Jason, and the whole band are on a certain level. I mean, those guys have toured with Motley Crue to
Everybody.
AC/DC and everybody. And you know what? We'll be at a convenience store and they'll turn around and be like, "Hey man, you want me to buy you a candy bar?" Like that's just the type of guys they are.
Well,
It's
that they came out in the late '80s, and like so many bands, they probably would have had a little more time close to the top if it hadn't been for what happened in '91 or so.
so we discussed that. We
Really.
really discussed that. So myself and Jason and another friend of mine, Shane, we were sitting in we had hotel time to sit because we had to wait for the show to happen. And literally, we were talking like, would Dangerous Toys or any band be be bigger? Would they be accepted in the mid '80s? Would their
Oh,
genre have been accepted or taken on? So with them coming out late '80s, early '90s, Guns N' Roses already hit and
right.
Kicks and everything like that. With them coming out as a new genre, would people have liked them as much? Would they be on the AC/DC tour and everything like that? So
Yeah,
we now
it's hard to
have a
say.
yeah, we now have a rebuttal towards did they come out too late or did they come out
Sure.
at the right time?
And people don't realize, but for those old bastards like us that were around in the '80s,
Middle aged.
yeah, exactly. Um, Appetite for Destruction didn't blow up. It didn't blow up right away.
No, it took 2 years.
Yeah, it was out for a while before it blew up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1987.
Yep. Very cool. Well, talk about music. You guys, the new single, World That's Burning, right? Came out a few days ago. And the new album just came out. We Own the Night.
Yeah,
Just what,
Friday.
the 14th, I think it came out?
Yeah. Yeah, it's selling. I own a record store.
Okay.
I have a fun platform so I can pretty much sell all Sinners merch like 7 days a week. So
Nice.
and we have ridiculous merch. Like I every good idea is stolen from anybody else. So I've gone the whole Gene Simmons route from wristbands to hot sauce but it's fun. And I don't overcharge for it. I keep it real low
Right.
because I put out so much different items. But
To be able to sell any physical merch in this day and age is awesome. Of course, I've listened to the album but I just watched the live show you put up from the 15th up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
yeah.
Great stuff because I'd not heard you live until I watched that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we were they actually called the fire department
did
because
they really?
yeah, we just blew the place up. It was great.
That's great. But you sounded great. I mean, the
We were definitely we were a together unit that night. We had a lot of fun.
well, good, yeah, because it sounded great. I mean, Mike's vocals sound great. He's got a strong vibrato live. It wasn't
Yeah,
like one of those things like, oh, I see where it falls apart a little bit, but
that's just me.
yeah, right. Um, do you find the new songs? I say new. I know it's not new to you, but new to the
Correct.
public. Do you find them getting tighter now that you're performing them together live?
We just know our limits.
Okay,
Like Nick is just he's straight. He's on point on the guitar. Like
yeah,
anything that you hear on that record, we mimic live. We all know our limits, and I think that's the best thing as a musician or just a person in general. Like me, I'm not like an electrician. I'm not going to go fix a socket because I
right,
know my limitations.
right.
But with my drumming, it's more of a rock style drum, and Bruce and I have been friends since Little League. So we know each other. We look over at each other. We know when, it's not that we're off, but we know when we lock in.
But yeah, it's a tight unit. Sounds great. And when I first started listening to you, I didn't immediately look you up to see appearance wise or anything. So I've been
And
interviewing some newer bands. I mean, most of my channel's been the guys you and I grew up with. I've interviewed a ton of 80s, 90s rock metal bands and just the people that were my heroes. So I assumed you were younger guys. I'm like, man, these guys are straight up. These guys listen to Iron Maiden, Sabotage, just, I mean,
Yeah.
everything, the dual lead guitar harmonies, all that kind of stuff. And then I realized you were probably closer in age to me. It made more sense. But
Yep. Uh, I don't know if we could have wrote this record 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Like we wouldn't have found, like Bruce brought in Nick.
okay.
We used to be like a cover band type thing.
Hmm.
And that's what we like to do. We played a local bar. We were local heroes. And then all of a sudden, the shutdown hit. And Mike's like, man, let's write a record. Let's
Yeah.
write a rock record. Like, let's try to not finish out our, how can I say, music legacy, but let's try to write a rock record. And
Yeah.
then Bruce brought in Nick and we just started writing some great songs. I
Yeah.
feel some great songs.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's got to feel great to actually have, after all this time you put in cover songs and stuff and honing your musicianship, to have your own product you've put out.
Yeah, we are pretty proud of it, and we can see it growing. Like I look at, online listens and this and that, and you know, 2 hours later, I'm like, man, this went up like 600 listens. Like it's really catching on,
Yeah.
and we appreciate everybody that's been just sharing a picture or a post
Yeah.
or anything.
What was the approach to recording it? Did you guys book studio time or were you recording it at home on computers and collaborating, or what was the case?
I had a friend of mine down the Cape. He sold his house and he had a studio at his house. And I have a studio above my garage, but it was never used as a recording studio. It was just always rehearsal.
Okay.
And he's like, let's let me put my studio up there. We just we just go up there and we play the songs.
Yeah. Well, it beats having to book studio time, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm not sure how much longer that model will even stay in business, honestly.
I feel who's behind the board.
Sure. Makes sense.
People will travel to have that name and to have that legacy, and or would it be easier just to, fly that gentleman to your place?
Right. That makes sense. Right. Yeah, I guess it's a matter of who's helping produce it and record it and
Yeah,
engineer.
and the final mix. And the gentleman Rucho did the final mix. He loves it and he made us a rock band.
So the beginning of the album, the little short piece, Embers Rising, the was that intended to be just like an intro to the album, or was it like, say, here's a song we started and it never progressed past that, so let's just include that as an intro?
Nick brought that in
Okay.
and he was like, maybe this could be a song. It's just one of those riffs. And it's so powerful. It's almost like a Judas Priest or a Maiden or
Yeah.
that power type metal, just intro. And we were like, why don't we just have it in as an intro? Because you come out to something, when you're on stage. We have a few different things. Mike uses like the sampling setup, which we don't play the samples, but in between the songs, and it gives us a chance to tune. There's no
Mhm.
dead air.
Right. Makes
We
sense.
we really try to be that performance band.
Like, say the lead, like the harmonies on guitar. On the recording, like, was Nick doing all that, or does like Mick and Mike and Nick stand to like play together and play harmony leads on the guitar, or
We
does one
did
of
everything track wise.
okay,
So Nick would come in and play to a click, and then I would come in and play to it.
okay,
And everybody else would, obviously listen to it, make sure, because sometimes, something can get away if you play an extra part or anything like that. But Nick was the major person to lay down the tracks, and he's just great.
gotcha.
And he's a nice kid. He's just a very nice person. So, and I came in and did the drumming. Mike did his tracks and overlaying stuff. We listened to it if it needed more. Mike's vocals are that 80s, 90s rock era
Right,
god of singing. It
yeah.
just he he could sing anything, and he does, and he really does. So, we feel the record really came together in the studio, and same thing with Bruce. It was easy because like I said, we did it at our house. We could go back, we could take our time. We weren't really under any, you know, deadlines or anything.
Sure. As band wise, do you guys have similar musical tastes?
It's all over the place.
Okay.
It's all, and Nick was brought up more on like Megadeth, Shadows Fall, the really busy guitar work.
Yeah.
Um, Mike Skid Row, he was in a band called Thought Junkie when we were younger. He should have been Chris Cornell. Like that's
Mhm.
how like you want to deep dive into Mike's world. Thought Junkie. I put out the record from my store. Um,
I'll look it up. Thought Junkie.
yeah, Bruce was more Black Sabbath, Cream. He had an older brother that played
Okay.
bass, so he was influenced on him on that, influence of that bass style.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then
Jack Bruce and Geezer's not too bad at bass influences.
yeah, yeah. And then I was brought up on the more 80s stuff. My uncle was actually drummer of Billy Squire.
Oh, okay.
So there wasn't a day like we didn't hear Billy Squire in the house. I feel the two guys that are out in front of this band are definitely Mike and Nick. And
Mhm.
Bruce, if Bruce was sitting next to me, he'd be like 100%.
Yeah.
Him and I just sit back, and those two are, you know, just just very busy.
Although I see Bruce does background vocals too live.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Everybody sounds really good, really solid. But um, now touring wise, it looks, I mean, I was looking, are you mostly sticking around because you're based out of Massachusetts, right? Are you in
Yeah,
Boston or are you outside of Boston or?
we're Cape Cod area.
Okay.
We're south of Boston, but we play New Hampshire. We play Maine. We play with like Ace Frehley, the Ace Frehley guys, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Great, wonderful bunch of guys. Obviously, the Dangerous Toys guys. We just played with Queensryche. We did some stuff with L.A. Guns. We played Long Island, New York, and this band's only been actively like really pushing it for only about 2 years.
Okay.
So with the demo, we've had the demo for about 3 years at this point. But we played LA like 5 times. So we're trying to hit the major markets, and it's tough to tour nowadays. Really is. The guys have kids, houses. I got 4 dogs that I love.
Right.
Um, you know, and it has to be the right instance. Like I was talking to my label and I told them, I was like, listen, man, I feel really bad. This record just came out and we're not on tour and we're not doing all this stuff. And he goes, in this day and age, you don't have to do that. He's
Right.
like, stay relevant online. 2026 is a month and a half away. Let's concentrate on next year. We're doing 4 dates with George Lynch.
Right.
We got some other stuff that's possibly happening. I have a friend of mine in Florida that wants to bring us down there for 3 or 4 days. We'll see where the record brings us.
And I've saw, I mean, I've seen with you, sharing bills with Dangerous Toys, Dokken, and George Lynch separately.
Yeah,
What perfect bands to be in front of? I mean, what's the perfect audience for you guys to be in front of?
we hope so. We hope so. That's what we enjoy mainly about playing. It's just experiences,
Well,
really.
that's the thing, as long as you're enjoying it. But the music's great, and I'm hoping some more people, a ton of people get turned on to it because I found it refreshing to hear new stuff that's up my alley as far as the older stuff I like. And like you and like anybody else, I try to push myself and like keep up with the newer bands, but it's just, I'm in my 50s and at some point I just like what I like.
Yeah, it's like my record store. People come in, they're like, "Do you have like, jazz or do you have classical?" I'm like, "I got Iron Maiden or Halloween blasting." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nah, man,
It- it-
I'm a heavy metal store. Like,
right.
sorry, I don't have your stuff.
You
Just
know,
it's okay. It's okay just to be,
who
like
you
what,
are.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%. Now, as far as social media and that kind of thing,
yeah.
what's the best way for people to get a hold of you, find out what's coming up, what's new, newest songs, next date?
Facebook, all sinners. We have allsinnerscult.com.
All
We have
Sinners Cult. Okay.
that. And then the All Sinners Band is the Instagram. And we have a TikTok. It's pretty terrible. I try to keep up on it. It's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot
Yeah.
of work to upload things and getting content, and I give a lot of those, creators, credit,
It could be a job. It could be a full-time
right?
job.
Like yourself doing, different Zoom meetings and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't like, trust me. I got my 9 to 5 that I'm doing, and I'm racing home and making sure I know what's going on before I log on
Yeah.
to this stuff too. You got to do what you got to do. But all right, Roger from All Sinners, thanks again, and we will look forward to hearing more music from you soon.
Thank you.
All right.